I'm going to lead you through the Rotaract dress. It goes like this. For what we are about to say or do, may we be forever grateful and mindful of the needs of others.
Amen. Thank you, Davis. Next up, we're going to have Objects of Rotaract by Andrew Teach, Rotaractor Andrew Teach. If you're on call, kindly unmute and introduce yourself and cite for us the objects of Rotaract.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, family and friends of Rotary. My name is Rotaractor Andrew Teach. I am a member of the Rotaract Club of Hurlingham. I'm going to take you through the objects of Rotaract, which are 5 in number. And the first one is to develop professional and leadership skills. The second one is to respect for the rights of others and to promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. The third one is to provide opportunities for young people to address the needs and concerns of the community and our world. The fourth one is to provide opportunities for working in cooperation with sponsoring Rotary clubs. And the fifth one is to motivate young people for eventual membership in Rotary. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. And for that, next up, we're going to have a loyal toast. So these are toasts we do to the President of the Republic of Kenya. So if you have a drink, you can raise it, or place your right hand across your chest to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, to the President. As we wait our guest to join, he had confirmed he'll join at about 7:10, so we are 3 minutes away. I will call upon any burning announcements. Maybe I can welcome Rotarian Joe, from our mother club. Maybe if there is any announcement from the Rotary Club of Hurlingham. Joe, I don't know if you.
Good evening, Mr. President and family and friends of Rotary. We do not have a specific announcement at the moment other than to encourage Rotaractors who have not registered for the district conference. Please do so. And for the benefit of the guests, this is a conference that brings together all the Rotary clubs in the district, happens once a year. And this time we are doing it jointly with the Rotaractors in May 2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Joe. Anyone with a burning announcement, maybe especially from our visiting Rotaractors? Anyone with an announcement? A quick one. Great. We are going to move on to our guest speaker, the main agenda for the night. But before I do so, I can see Amos asking how can you become a member? So we'll do a quick Rotaract recap on that after the speaker. But also Rotaractors who are on board, kindly assist on doing replies on any chats that pop, because I can see we have a number of guests who joined in. Na karibuni sana to the Rotaract family. We are the Rotaract Club of Hurlingham, and it's a special week for us. We are turning 2 years. We were chartered in 2019 on 21st of October 2019. We are turning 2 on Thursday. So it's a special week for us. Also, it's a special week that we have a holiday in between, and tukona Mkurugenzi. It's a special week for us here in Hurlingham. I will now call upon, I can see Maggie saying she has an announcement. Maggie, if you could do that quickly. Maggie Mushendo.
Thank you. My name is Margaret from the Rotaract Club of the Technical University of Kenya, and I would like to announce that we have a mini rally that happens every year for our Rotaract Club. The event happens on Saturday from 12. The charges are 200 bob for Rotaractors and 500 for Rotarians. Thank you and see you there.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Maggie. Proceed on the introduction of the guest speaker. Brian Carey, if you're on call, kindly introduce the guest speaker. Yeah, and thank you, Daisy. I've seen your comment on the chat. Yeah, you can read that and get brief on what Rotaract is about. Brian Carey.
Okay, thank you, Sana, Mr. President. Let me just go on and introduce our guest. With over 12 years experience in the media industry, Abel Mutua has developed skills and recognition in concept development, script writing, creative consultancy, TV and radio direction. Husband and father to one, Abel is known for his acting and script writing of Tahidi High and Hapa Kule News, which bore the popular concept of the Real Househelps of Kawangware, which he also scripted alongside mother-in-law. Teaming up with popular TV director Phil Karanja, fellow creative Bob Murithi, they started off Phil It Productions Limited. Together, they have produced TV shows such as Hula Baloo Estate, Suna Johnny, My Empress, and the ongoing Undercover. Phil It Productions has also produced numerous TV commercials, documentaries, and covered various corporate events. Abel started his YouTube channel in 2020 and in less than 3 months garnered 100,000 subscribers, prompting YouTube to award him with a silver play button. Abel uses his channel as a storytelling platform seeking to inspire, educate, and entertain through his personal stories and other people's life stories. His main target audience is 18 years of age and above. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Abel Mutua.
After that introduction, siniende tu nyumbani. My work is done. I hope I'm not on mute. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. If you can hear me and see me, welcome mkono juu tuende kazi. Yeah, so I was saying most people know me as a storyteller, so I won't come here and pretend to be somebody else. I will do just that and tell stories for how many minutes do I have? 20? 10? Is it 10 or 20? 20. Yeah. So I've been in the industry now since 2007. So that's 14 years actually. And it was all fun and games until 2020. So before 2020, we were doing shows for Maisha Magic. Maisha Magic is a Kenyan channel that's hosted by MultiChoice, which is a South African company. And to be really honest, it's been all bliss because even in terms of the monetary compensation, Maisha Magic pays the best. So I used to look at all my other fellow producers, hustling at working for these free-to-air stations. And I was really wondering, man, munafanya nini huko? Kujeni huku bana, tutengeneze hii pesa ya South Africans. Hii pesa yao haiwezi isha. They have cash in the boatloads. So it was safi until 2020 came. Now, when 2020 came, we received a very short email from Johannesburg, MNET headquarters. And this email said, guys, you all know what's happening around the world. So itabidi tukule pause. Just go home and kula pause just for a minute. Watch how we see how this pandemic thing will go, then we shall communicate. We shall communicate when you guys will be back. And we went home. In my mind, I knew for a fact that the most I'll be staying in the house will be like a week, 2 weeks tops. In 2 weeks, sisi tunarudi kazi, tunaenda kutengeneza vipindi zetu pale MNET. Mtaniruhusu nimeze juice. All right, so we sit in the house and we're there week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 comes, we're not getting any communication from nobody, no emails, no calls, nothing. Week 5 comes, and now we start panicking. We go into panic mode because now we're operating on fumes. All the little money that we had for production, we've started biting into it pole pole. We are tuning pole pole. And before long, we were broke as a company. And the funniest bit is that the producers I was laughing at, the ones producing shows for these free-to-air channels, most of them were still working, man. Like, the shows were still on air. Mother-in-Law was on air. Which other producers do I know? Like, a couple of producers I knew. Auntie Boss, I think, was still there. Those are producers that I kept talking to during that time. And these guys were still at work, man. And it really got me thinking. This whole business of depending on one income stream, that's just living life dangerously. And I had no clue until that time during the pandemic. So before the pandemic, I had this urge of joining the online bandwagon. I knew I needed to be online somehow. But I didn't want to do the kawaida things because my good friend Timothy Kimani Ndegwa, aka Njugush, does his skits there. And a couple of my friends did their skits online. So I was thinking, am I one to come to join this online thing with skits? Like, I feel like a proper filmmaker should do something different. So I was thinking, Hollywood material. And I kept overthinking it until I gave up. I decided, you know what, maybe this online thing is not for me. Let me just keep doing my TV shows and my TV commercials. Form itajipa huko mbele, tutatafuta namna. So now we are smack in the middle of COVID. I've been in the house with my wife and daughter for like six weeks. Then she tells me, babe, you know those stories that you keep telling us here in the house? To be really honest, you have bored us to death. It will only be fair if you told these stories to other people outside, tafadhali. Na si kwa ubaya, tunasema tu, we've had enough. Hizi stories, we pigia tu watu wengine huko nje. Just get yourself a new audience. I think it will do something for your ego. Juu pia wewe hii story umetupigia mara 3 hatujacheka. I'm sure it's hurting you in some way. Just find a new audience where wapigie stories. And that's exactly what I do. I go and pick a stool and a phone, and I carry my wife and my daughter. They're my 2-man crew. And we go somewhere along Kiambu Road. There's a turnoff called Rowe. Rowe takes you to a small shopping center called Kirigiti. So if you take that road from Kirigiti, as if you're going towards Tatu City, there is a shooting range there owned by the National Gun Owners Association. They have a beautiful spot there. So we go and put our stool there. And I tell my first story, which is the story about how I had this humongous crush on Sanaipe Tando. And we edit it and we upload it. Believe it or not, guys, that story garners over 100,000 views in 24 hours. Then it got me thinking again. The first time I was thinking it was about my income streams. The second time was this whole online business. The way I thought I'd get into this online thing was, Hollywood standards. But here I was sitting on a stool in the middle of a forest somewhere, armed with only a phone. I did not even have a tripod. I did not have a microphone. It was just a phone like this. And I just sat and told a story, and so many people resonated with it. I was like, oh my God. So all this time, I've been overthinking. Kumbe hii kitu haitaki kuoverthinkiwa. Hii kitu inataka tu toka nje, fanya. Like that was a major life lesson for me, extremely. So I think after that that's when I decided to just find out why are guys here? What is it about this story that has resonated so well with guys? Then I discovered guys will always come to you for three things. They place value on three things. One, they need to be informed or educated. Number two, they need to be entertained. Number three, they need to be inspired. So if whatever you're putting out is doing one or two or all of these three things, then you're good to go. It does not matter whether you have Hollywood cranes there and choppers filming you, or you just shooting yourself with a pinhole camera. It does not matter. As long as there's audio and there's video and people can be able to understand and comprehend what you're saying and be inspired or be educated or be entertained, that's all that matters, man. And that really, really changed my mindset in even how I approach things in life. Yeah, don't overthink things, man. Sometimes it's the little things that matter. And most of these things, haziko mbali, haziko ati uko 200 kilometers away. No, these are things that you have. Like I've always known I've been a storyteller since I was young. But when I was looking for that online thing to do, storytelling wasn't the first thing that came to mind. In fact, my very first reaction when my wife told me, you know what, I think you should tell these stories to the people. My first reaction was like, aye, babe, 14 years in the industry, kitu nataka kuweka kwa meza ni mtu amekaa kwa stool, anapiga story aje, watanibeba aje, watanichukua aje. Kumbe maze, all along, that was it. That was it, maze. Yeah, so the thing has grown legs. Now I'm not only filming myself on a small phone in the bush. Now I do it at Nairobi Cinema. Imagine, guys, they apply makeup and buy clothes and pay transport to come all the to watch a guy sitting on a couch telling stories, man. That in 1,000 years, I never thought ati hivyo ndio nitakuwa nalipa rent Nairobi. Never. After 3 years in college, aje. Haiwezi maze. But yeah, so sometimes I think tough moments come to fungua us a little bit so that you stop thinking in the box. Talk outside the box kidogo tu. And outside the box doesn't mean complexity, no. No. What is it that you have within you that's a game changer? Ni nini uko nayo ndani yako? Because there is something. If you've been an artist for this long, there is something that has kept you afloat for all this time. Ni nini hiyo? Capitalize on that and do your thing. So I won't even come here and speak as an expert and tell you guys that now I have the formula. Chemical X ndio hii. No. I don't have it. Me, I stumbled upon it and it worked. So me, the only thing I'll tell guys is if you really want to do it, don't overthink it. Don't. Just do it. Just do it. You never know. That could be it. Just do it. Yeah, and that's my COVID story, and that's how a little pandemic made us reinvent the wheel. Funny enough, that thing also changed the way we operate as a company, because now after the pandemic, we cannot go back to relying on one income stream. We cannot go back to relying on MNET for our daily bread. MNET needs to be just one of the many income streams that are coming. And that pandemic sparked a conversation between us, and we really tried to look for ways in which we can cut the middleman. Whatever we produce, our productions need to go down to the people without having to go through middlemen. Because any time you go through a middleman, you as the creator always goes home with the short end of the stick. And it's not supposed to be like that. So we decided, we need to find a way in which we can be able to do our things and just push them to the consumer directly. My YouTube channel did that. I just told stories and my consumers enjoyed my stories directly. Okay, YouTube is some sort of a middleman, but we figured if guys are able to contribute a little something to watch something that they can watch for free. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that I have a small pay bill that is usually on my channel there. Anytime I tell stories, there's like a small pay bill there, and guys contribute. And that informed, like it really opened us up to this other opportunity. And we discovered if guys can be able to pay for content that's already readily available, like it's free, but they're still willing to go back to go into their pockets and give, then why not do it as a business model? Why not go and produce something and have them pay for it? Which is exactly what we did. And I think 10 days ago, last Friday, but one, we launched our first film. It's called A Grand Little Lie. Before we actually did the film, we went and did all the tech work with regards to the platform in which the whole movie will be sitting. And we found a way in which we can be able to produce and showcase whatever we produced and have people pay for it directly. And it's worked so far. I think you guys have seen in the blogs, we recouped our investment in, I think, 5 days. It cost us like 4 million to produce the film. We broke even, I think, on the 5th day, if I'm not wrong. So now we're chasing money for the next film. We have a target of 50,000 links. We've already sold 22, 28 to go. So once we have our 28,000 links now, we know for sure, we have enough funding, enough finances to do another film and release by Easter. So that way, like, even if there was a pandemic, we know we have, like, how many people? I think the smartphone penetration right now is at 22 million people. We know we have a fraction of those 22 million people who've got our backs. Like, even if COVID came back again, haiwezi pita na kila mtu. Lazima kwa hao 22 million kuna wale watasimama tu na sisi. So that's safer than depending on one income stream from South Africa, from Mnet. Because you know, when that one income stream goes, that's it. You're one income stream away from poverty. Yeah. So COVID really worked for us, and that's why I refer to myself as a COVID side effect. I'm a COVID side effect. Yeah. And I tell guys, that was just a moment when the world stopped for a bit so that us guys can realign, us guys can readjust. Whatever wasn't working, unapima tena, unaangalia hapa tutarekebisha aje. Now the saddest bit is that I don't think that will ever happen again in our lifetime. Hakuna siku dunia itasimama tena tuweze kureadjust and kurealign. So mazee, kama bado hauja-adjust mazee, wakati ni sasa kabla tuanze kuamka vizuri. I know we're slowly getting there, but take advantage now. Yeah, and that's my story, man. I hope I was in line with the theme. Sijakuja hapa kuropokwa vitu zangu. Feel free to ask me any questions.
Right, thank you very much, Abel. But you failed to give us an opening. You know, the way you do it when you're doing your YouTube videos, man. Give us that.
That one is for paying customers. Anyway, Wakurugenzi, MAMEN. Rotaract Hurlingham, mkituona tumeingia Hurlingham, msifikirie tumekuja tu sherehe sababu Hurlingham ni sherehe tupu. No. Beautiful things also happen in Hurlingham, man. Na munialike huko kwenu bana. Hizi vitu za simu sipendi sababu amnaga samosa na mandazi. Munialike huko nikuje nirarue. Karibu juice.
Oh man, fantastic. I'm going to invite Branson, who will moderate the Q&A session for that. Brian, if you're on call, take it away.
Okay, thank you, George. I hope you all can hear me. Abel, you're very much in line with the theme, and that's a plan. I can tell you now, the next time we are in physical, we have to have you there so that people can get the experience live.
Awesome.
Yes, you can do that from me.
Awesome. I love it.
So now we'll go to the Q&A session. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. The host will ask you to unmute. Any questions you have about what you've said or anything you know about the things he's doing. As people are asking the questions, I can start the Q&A session. So right when you're wrapping up, you've talked about your dream to start doing films, and you started with Grand Little Lie.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can assure everyone here, there's no time in Kenya that you would have ever found a Kenyan film selling at 200 shillings. It's a norm. People know it's like 800 bob, and people don't watch them.
Correct.
My question is, why do you think it's important to remove the middlemen? Like you're distributing the film yourself. And today I saw somebody ask a question online, is it going to be on Amazon or Netflix? And you said you're not interested. You yourself are going to do the distribution. So why do you think it's important that we ourselves do the distribution?
First of all, it makes no sense for me as a filmmaker who works at Kahawaskari. It makes no sense for a fan of mine who lives at Roysambu for me to go and produce a beautiful film, and instead of letting the guy watch this film directly, like instead of getting this film directly to this guy who is in Roysambu, I take it all the way to Amsterdam first for Netflix to distribute it to him. Like, why? It's a Kenyan story made by Kenyans for Kenyans. Why do we have to involve people who do not understand the first thing about our culture to begin with? So there's a mentality that the generation before us have. And I think we need to put a stop to it. In fact, most of them, as soon as they watched the premiere, they were like, no, don't start distributing it first. Let's try and give it to to Netflix. We see if we can make some money there. And to be really honest, it didn't make sense to me at all, because I know what Netflix is giving producers out here. East African producers, the most they're making out of Netflix is 3 million shillings. Most of these films cost more than 3 million shillings to produce. A film like 40 Sticks, I'm sure cost upwards of 5-6 M, but they were given 3 million shillings. And you know, when Netflix distributes your film, you can't sell it anywhere. Like, they have an exclusivity period of, I think, a year or 2 years. So it means for those 2 years, you can't sell it, but you've gone home with less than you spent. So anytime, and that's why I said during my story, anytime there's a middleman, the creative always goes home with the short end of the stick. So if we have our people here, and I think the whole of 2020 was crucial for us because we were building a community. Wakurugenzis are a community that we were building. And by the time we were making this film, we knew we had a good number of people who are willing to buy it. So why go and get 3 million from Netflix while I can push and get double that by my own people here and employ my guys? You know, if I take my film to Netflix guys are the ones getting the salaries. If I distribute it myself, it means there are people that I've employed who are getting a salary. So that's the whole narrative of buying Kenya, building Kenya, man. And I think that's the direction we all need to take as producers. In fact, not just producers for films, producers for anything. If you are a manufacturer, like, just do it here. It does good things to the economy.
I agree that makes a lot of sense, and you've definitely built a community. Like Wakurugenzi ni watu strong sana, wapendangi mchezo.
It's a movement, man.
Yeah, it's a movement. You can post your questions in the chats here. Now I can ask John Nagari to ask his question. And then there's Techno Camon. I'm not sure what your name is. You can go next. So John Nagari, you can ask your question.
Hey, Mkurugenzi, kuna wakurugenzi hapa.
Nice one. Hey, your jacket ni fire.
Yeah, my boy here, kuja karibu pia wewe uonekane.
Wewe.
Acha ndaiza hapa.
Nice. Nyinyi ni wakurugenzi wa true.
Kabisa, this family is locked here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the support, guys.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, first is a comment, then a question. The first comment is to appreciate the work you do.
Thank you.
I think you've connected with so many homes. The impact you're having is really big. If you see here, my son chatting around with his friends and making a lot of comments that he has picked up from the way you talk, some of the things you say, I think mjenga sana. So thank you so much, and of course for us, all of us. So the
awesome, man.
Question is, have you thought about the next 5 or 10 years? What do you plan to do so that that Mkurugenzi effect remains and grows to be much bigger?
Yeah. Actually, whatever we are doing right now is because of that. Films are their lifetime. They're there for posterity, man. Right now, I'm sure you've heard of Titanic. Even if you've not watched it, you've heard of it. Titanic, the film. So that's why we decided to do a reenactment of the stories that I tell, because stories are a way of changing the culture, and I like to refer to myself as a culture changer, man. And what better way to change a culture than with film and just the arts in general. Yeah, so this film business is going to be very heavy. In fact, our goal is to build a whole film village like what Tyler Perry has done in Chicago. Is it Chicago or where? Yeah. So, and just make it easy for Kenyans to just tell Kenyan stories, because they need to be told. I feel like we're so much inclined towards the West, but again, you can't blame them. It's because a good chunk of the content that we consume is from the West. So they've been able to influence us. And I think it would be very unfair to the coming generation if we let that happen. So tumejitwika jukumu kuhakikisha ya kwamba sisi ndio tunataka kusukuma stories zetu, ndio vizazi ambavyo vinakuja baada ya sisi wakuwe na kitu ya kujivunia. Hii story ya kuangalia sinema za nje tunapoteza culture yetu hapa doesn't make sense. Yeah, so this film business is going to be heavy.
Thanks.
Well answered. And may that dream come true. Yeah, Tyler Perry akona 330-acre film estate in Atlanta where he's shooting all his movies. And I think you've talked about it before. We've been influenced by the West a lot. Sa COVID ikatuonyesha kumbe they are not so much as superpower as
Maze, and that's the power of films. You know, the reason why we all thought that the US was superpowers was because of Hollywood, man. Si kitu ingine ni Hollywood. Like they sold us a dream. They told us that the US was where dreams are made of. Right. And it's just the place to be. But to be really honest, haki ni nini inaweza kupeleka US? Tuseme tu ukweli. Juu si tourism. Huwezi toka hapa kwenda tu kuona Grand Canyon na urudi. But hapa tuko na kila kitu. Like we have so much here. But hatuziuzi, I don't know why.
Yeah, and I think you've now given the inspiration. People can now start telling their stories. Techno, come on 17, you can introduce yourself and ask your question. And then Vincent, then we go to the questions in the chat box.
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, VP, Mkurugenzi.
Safi sana, bro.
Okay, my name is Leonard Langat. I am a Rotaractor from the Rotaract Club of Muthaiga North. And I've watched your content since it was an IG, man.
What?
Since the day one, yeah. I watched it, and as I said, Matu, and mine is not really a question. I was just appreciating a story I had. There was a guy who almost committed suicide, and I just read about it somewhere, and some of your stories inspired this guy. So
Yes. Yeah, man. That's why I said, but Yani, whatever content you put out there needs to do those three things. Either it educates, it inspires, or it entertains. Yeah, if you don't tick any of those three boxes, then why are you doing it? yeah. But it means a lot. It means a lot to see that this content that started somewhere in a forest is literally changing lives, man. Yeah, that's no mean feat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for your appreciation. Vincent, you can ask your question.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Vincent Muhari. I'm a content creator. I hope you're getting me clearly. Okay, so my question to Mutua, what do you think is the space? So what space does the content creator upcoming has in the digital value?
Okay, I think you were interrupted somewhere there, and then, but let me try and answer. I don't know if I got your question correctly, but we need to unlearn a few things as content creators, especially Kenyan content creators. I don't know who gave people this notion that content should be consumed for free. That's just wrong. Like, nobody wakes up in the morning to go and give away free things. For you to put out your content, you have invested time and resources so that you can get that thing out there. Then for people to just think that they should consume it for free, then to be really honest, that's an insult. So first of all, as content creators, we need to not be afraid to ask. Start asking. And I know it's difficult. Even me, before I started asking, I was really against that. My good friend, Richard Njao, aka Esther, is the one who introduced me to this. And he told me, bro, you are offering value. Since when was value given for free? You need to ask, man. Put a pay bill there. Let them know that you are toiling for this content. It should not be consumed for free, man. So I think for upcoming content creators, first of all, just be good at what you do. And once you know you're extremely good, ask for value back, because you're offering value. You need to be appreciated in exchange. Otherwise, why are you doing it? You can't do it for free for long. No, it needs to be sustainable. And the only way it can be sustainable is if you get value back. You can't just be giving value and you're not receiving any. It will get to a point you'll be empty, and you can't pour from an empty cup.
I agree.
Thank you so much. And please go check out my YouTube channel.
All right,
Vincent
what's the
Mohari
name?
Comedy.
Vincent
Mohari Comedy.
All right. I'll do that.
Thank
you. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Vincent. I agree. It's a two-way traffic. We need to appreciate our content creators for them to give us better content. I think now we'll just go through the chat very fast, and then we can have you, Sena Koi, ask the last question after we answer the questions in the chat. So I'll go right ahead. There's somebody by the name WM. The person says, we see artists in financial struggles and requesting for Kenyans to bail them out. How did you escape this financial black hole? 2, advice for artists and upcoming artists in financial management and planning?
Okay. So the problem with most of us as artists is most of us have no clear goals. When us guys were going into Tahiti High was not it for us. Unfortunately, for most people who we were with, Tahiti High was it for them. And I think that's why when their time came to exit, they had no plan. They did not know what to do next, because for them, Tahiti High was their life. And I think that shouldn't be the case. Us guys, when we were going into Tahiti, we knew our end goal was to run our own production house. So Tahiti High for us was just a stepping stone. And that's why we've been able to maneuver from Tahiti High all through to the real households until we got to Maisha Magic. And now we're where we are, where we're producing films and distributing it ourselves. It's because these are ideas that we had 15 years ago, back when we were in college. In fact, my business partner, Philip Karanja, was my classmate in college. And we were also roommates at the hostel. So we spent time together. We were both picked by Citizen TV on the same day to be actors on Tahiti High. We were both employed by Citizen TV as crew people on the same day. And we were having these conversations, man. And I remember there was a time Philip told me straight up, he said, bruh, if we do not work towards our goal, Tahiti High might end up being the best thing that happened to us. And that would really be a sad affair, man. I'm sure you've seen stories of people who we were together with and now things have gone belly up. So I guess that's what kept us afloat. We knew where we wanted to go, and we had our true north. We knew where we were focusing to go. I don't know. I think I've forgotten your next question. Aki nikumbushe.
Question 2 was advice for artists and upcoming artists in financial management and planning.
Very good. Very good. Let me tell you, there's something that we need to stop as Africans. Whole story of putting taboos on money issue. Imagine. I don't know why, because this is something that I've only seen with Africans. When it comes to money matters, all of a sudden we become very sensitive. Like, you can be friends with someone, but you do not know how much they make. You don't know how much they earn. You can be in the same industry, but different companies, but you're not sharing information. So how are we supposed to grow? Like, money shouldn't be treated as witchcraft. Like wakela hiyo kitu kwa meza we discuss. That's how we grow. Number 2, you can't be freestyling with your finances. And I understand not everyone is born with we are not always financial savvy. Like, kuna watu tu wako sawa story ya do. There are people who are not, me being one of them. So don't be afraid to just get someone who's financial savvy and just put them in your team. Like, wacha kukwetu na mse hapo anakumanejia do yako maze. You will blow through. In fact, it's funny because my last YouTube story, I told about this old car, story about this old car that I owned. Na ilinikula pesa kabisa. I think I almost lost $1 million through that car. It was an old Mercedes. The reason why I got it was, just to show guys, bana mi pia ni mini bazoo. Wrong reasons. And I ended up spending a lot of money. But now looking back, I realized I was making all these mistakes because I was freestyling through my finances. I never, not even once, sat down with an expert and told them, yo, I'm only 25 years old. I started working like 2 years ago. I'm getting a bit of money here and there. How do I go about my finances? Never. I think I spoke to a finance guy when I was approaching 30. Actually, I think I was 30 or 31. That shouldn't be the case. At the moment you start earning like this, start talking to financial experts. Just let them show you ways in which this money can work for you. Yeah, that's I think where we go wrong as artists. Mambo ya pesa tuko chini na tutaki kuitisha usaidizi. Sababu gani? We are selfish. Tunaona nikikuleta unisaidie na pesa yangu nikupatie 10, 15, 20%, hiyo sasa unaniharibia pesa yangu. So which is better, giving 20% na utoke hapo na wisdom, spend the money. So these are things we need to start discussing.
Agree, well answered. Seek financial advice, guys. So somebody called Shaz, your show's on M2 to be them elsewhere, or maybe on the lead page, or are you under any exclusivity clause with Mnet?
So I guess this is also a good time to tell you the reason why we were getting some good money from Mnet is because us guys sold our souls to the devil. Like we we gave them the rights, we sold the rights 100%. So all those things that we did there, and some of those shows are beautiful, you guys, we cannot do anything with them. We we own nothing. Yeah, and I think these are some of the things that producers need to be informed, so that when they go in, you know exactly what you're doing. It's a matter of rights versus money. So do you want to take home a bit of money now and forget about your future? Ama are you willing to suffer kidogo now, but you kulia for some time? Because had we come up with the rights, those are shows that would very easily be able to resell today. But I guess we didn't think that far, man. These are life lessons. Yeah, but we are wiser now.
Well, and those were really amazing shows that are on Showmax and Mnet.
Yeah,
but
man. Yeah. School fees. Hiyo ni school fees tumelipia.
Sana Koi reminds you here. He's saying you've talked of your audience being age 18 years and above, and he's reminding you there's a whole gang of his nephews and friends always on the phone and laptop tuned into your stories. I think I'll even let him ask his question right now. Sena Koi, go ahead.
Sena Koi. That name sounds very familiar. Is this Sena Akoi McJackson?
Yes, Sena hapa.
Kroko.
Mambo Mkurugenzi.
Allah. This guy was my former classmate. Hey, mambo vipi bro?
Poa.
Hey, it's been a decade bana, tuonani.
Mine is not a question, but just to encourage you as a fellow creative and tell you that when the colonists came to Africa, they rushed in exploit all the minerals. But the reason being that they never exploited up to now, that the authentic African story, that the only resource we have, and we cannot give that opportunity outsiders to come and make money with our story.
Correct. Thank you very much, Sena Akoi McJackson, and it's a pleasure seeing you after so long. Shukran sana, man. Yeah.
I think I the last two questions. We've really extended on time. This is the second last question. I have a question. This is from Brian Serone. Can one of the genres address matters environment? Because as an environmentalist, I feel like most people are not aware of the predicament of climate change and effects that are already being seen.
That's beautiful, man. That's awesome. Actually, if I have an environmentalist like him close by, then it will be very easy to write shows that are preaching that narrative. You know, most of us as writers, we like writing things we are conversant with. Mambo ya environment kidogo hatujatilia nini sana, but sasa mtu kama huyo akiwa karibu na sisi hapa, then it becomes very easy maze kusukuma hiyo narrative. Yeah, I think it's important, it's crucial. We need to.
Right. The last question is also the first person who had asked the questions on chat. They are asking, how do you brand yourself as how is building a brand like, for starters? That's a question by Mdoni Kiere, and that's the last question.
Yeah, branding. Most of the time I shy away from branding question because I feel like hata mimi mwenyewe bado I haven't been able to crack it kabisa. I borrow a lot from people, but I think your principles, they determine a lot in terms of branding, and that's why utapata, for example, like me in my YouTube channel, there are just areas that I can't touch on. Ni hard sana upate like when I'm doing my influencing stuff, ni hard sana upate influence story ya betting, story ya alcohol, because even me as a person, I don't gamble, I don't drink alcohol. So to be a disservice to this betting company or this alcohol company, kujaribu kuuza product yenye mimi mwenyewe situmiangi. You understand? So I guess your own principles, they determine a lot when it comes to your personal branding. Hizo ndio zitakuguide, zitakushow utakuwa unakacheza aje hapa na hapa. But to be really honest, I don't want to sit here and lie. I am not at your branding guru, and I think for creatives that's a very important aspect that tuna need kukuwa tuna more conversations around branding. Branding is very important. It's the first image that you portray. Very important. It determines the kind of people that you will interact with, the kind of people who you will do business with. Hiyo yote huwa inakuwa determined na your brand and how you've been able to portray yourself out there. Yeah. So hapo wacha tu nisidanganye. Let me not pretend that I'm an expert on that front. But wacha niseme ni work in progress. Tunapiga tu research hata sisi kivyetu.
So I hope that answers your question, Mdoni. It's a very comprehensive answer. That was the last question. Lakini naona watu wameinsist hapa story ya audition. Guys want to know how can they audition to feature in the films? You can just quickly answer that so that we can move ahead.
Okay. So there are groups online. Groups tu za watu za auditions. Okay, I don't know if the Facebook groups are still there, but hapo ndio most of the time nini waga zinapostiwa. Also at the Kenya National Theatre kuna zile notice board zao. Most of the time when people have auditions, they usually pin them there. So the thing about auditions ni for you as a newbie, hizo vitu utazienda nyingi sana. Yani you will audition until you get tired. But unfortunately, that's the only route. There are more artists than there are productions. So lazima tu utatoil. Lazima utakimbia hii town mbaya sana before you land your first row. But there is another. Now, saisi kama time zetu ilikuwa nisipoenda hiyo KNT, hiyo audition nipite. That's it. Ni hivyo, mimi mambo yangu imeisha. Now, things are different. Social media is now the auditioning platform. You just do your things on social, watu wataanza tu kukunotice. In fact, when even us internally, when we start auditioning, the very first place we go to ni social media. Tuangalie tu who are these upcoming many content creators, ni kina nani wanakani kama wako na talent. We call those ones first for a closed audition. Wanakam, wanafanya mambo yao. Had they not been online, hatungewaona, unaona. So I think sahi social media imepatia na platform fiti sana. You just do your thing there. Shoot your monologues kama we ni mtu wa acting. Shoot your funny skits kama we ni mtu wa comedy. Just do something. You never know. Alafu sahi, and it's universal. It's not only in Kenya. Nowadays, for you to be in a production, lazima uwekele social media yako kwa meza. That is happening mpaka in Hollywood. Tunataka kuona interaction yako na watu wako kwa social media inakaa aje. Wewe ni mtu au shughuliki na social media, ama uko kwa social media unaenda unaongea nonsense, inakuwa tricky sana kuweka kwa production. Lakini tukiona there's some constructive work you're doing on social, then inakuwa rahisi hata kukuwa na hiyo conversation ya casting. So use your social media wisely. You never know. Your next job might come out of your last post.
Okay, I think that's very good advice. You know, even Massimo Tisia, who's starring in JLL.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time I've seen her in a movie. But before that, she's done so many auditions. She's done almost as many as you can think of. That's all we had for questions. Mkuru unaweza pitia comment section hapo, kuna vitu mingi appreciative messages unaweza soma.
Oh,
guys are trying to know about story yake ya Mercedes. It's on finale of Young and Stupid.
Correct.
And I've seen a lot of guys on my post the Philly TV link. Go there and watch the movie. It's only 200 bob.
Yes.
As somebody who has watched it, I can assure you, you'll be very satisfied. It's worth the money. Unajua Mkuru, the time you're joking, kuna watu Kenya hawezi kosa kitu, like unamuuliza naweza pata wapi Mercury, unaambia tuonane hapa asubuhi. And in that show, this guy called Plug anaambia anataka mwili, anaambia kuna jamaa patikana kuna meningitis nini amefind a whole body and the guy hata anahepa na hiyo mwili. So guys, it's just 200. So go watch the movie. I'm sure you love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, and it's a story that I can assure you a good chunk of us are going through it. What we decided to do with that movie is put a people pleaser, combine a people pleaser with a toxic person. Tuone tu what a create world inakaaje. Yeah, and I'm sure you know a people pleaser somewhere and you know a toxic person. Hiyo tunajua. Yeah, so it's a very relatable movie. Catch it. It's only 200 shillings. Ukiwatch Kubambe, spread the word. We need 50,000 people to watch it, man, so that we can be able to produce the next one.
Yeah, so guys, mkitoka hapa, go to Philly TV, buy the movie. You'll love it. I want to hand over the program back to George to start wrapping it up. Thank you for the time. It's really stretched questions.
Asante sana, nimeshukuru.
Hey, thank you very much, Brent, for taking us through the Q&A session. As the Valentine Kayasi gets ready for the vote of thanks, I will call Abel to give a parting shot. So Abel.
Oh, karibu nianze kuondoka, kumbe nilikuwa nirudi tena. So with regards to today's theme, naweza taka tu nisisitize. Sometimes the biggest ideas are not the most complex. Imagine wacha tu overthink. Hiyo kitu unaona ni ndogo, hiyo you never know. Maybe hiyo ndio itakam hapo ndio utaomokea. Let me give you a good example. In Italy, there's a very dark guy who's allergic to lotion. Anaitwa Kabi. Ule jamaa yufanyia save. I'm sure mume interact na umse. Like, what is this? That guy is an international superstar because of doing this. Angekaa chini aanze overthink, nitaingia social media aje, na need kitu complex, mse atungemjua. Sometimes it's just the simple things that count. So kama uko na kitu unataka kufanya, don't overthink it. Do it. Tunakoga na nini si utumia kwa kampuni yetu inaitagua BML. Build, measure, learn. What we do is when an idea hits us, we execute immediately. Once we execute, hizo mablanda tunaenda tukimake, hizo tunazitumia kama yardstick, kama nini ya kupima, tuna measure. Okay, this one hasn't worked, mbona ija work, what do we need to do? Hivyo pole pole tu, you build, measure, learn. By the time mnafika your second, third year, my friend, mshakuwa experts. So just start. Whatever idea you think you have and you think haitoshi mboga vile, you just start and build on it as you progress. That's it.
Fantastic. I love that. Build, measure, and learn. Thank you very much, Abel Mutua, for that. And to the entire Wakurugenzi movement, asanteni sana for joining us. I'm going to call on Valentine Kayasi, Rotaract Valentine, to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, George. A big thank you to Mr. Abel Mutua. Indeed, you have been an inspiration to us. I think the major takeaways that I have is that start small, start from whatever point you think you want to start from. And then for in everything that you do, I also tend to think it's not only for the content or just for anything that you share out there. Let's make sure that it's educative, it's inspiring, and it is also, yes, educative, inspiring, and motivating to everyone. And the other point is nimesahau, but yes, thank you so much for sharing with us. We really appreciate. Indeed, there's so much to learn, and indeed, COVID has been a blessing for many people, and it's a game changer. Like it really sparks our thinking and says that where you are is not where you want to be. So what can you do to go further? So thank you so much. We as Rotaract Club of Hurlingham and all other clubs and all other members who are here present, every participant, we want to say thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Lorna, for that. I see it's supposed to be educating, entertaining, and inspiring. Thank you so much. Back to you, George.
Thank you, Valentine, for that. Asante sana Abel. Before I let you go, manze kuna jamaa hapa mdedi, jamaa wa KU alisikia unakama akasema manze akona talent ya kuchora na kama manze ataamsha kipainting na akakuchora. Let me share the screen as I read the message he sent. There you go. So anaitwa, he's a Rotaractor from KU. Anaitwa Seja the Laughist, yeah. So alisema he would have loved to showcase this, but I managed to join. So he said I share it and I've done it. So there you go. So in Rotaract, we also have talent, and yeah, as you can see, so it's a great piece of art right there. Who are here with us? Maybe to mention what Rotaract is. So Rotaract, it's a global organization, which it's a service club, yeah, for young people aged 18 and above, 18 years and above. We come together, find innovative solutions to the world's, most pressing challenges, while developing leadership skills and making friends around the world. So you realize we are diverse. We didn't do proper introductions because of time, but on our Kawaida meeting, we normally have introductions bit where you say your name, classification, that is what you do, be it a business, be it your career, what you've studied and all that. So we are quite diverse in terms of career and even the things that we do. So you can find a club around you or near you, depending on your location. I believe everyone filled in the form that we had shared. Let me reshare the form. So once you fill this, we will get in touch and guide you the way forward. That is through our membership docket. Yeah. Karibuni sana to Rotaract. To those who are new to Rotaract, it's a fun club. We normally have the major objective of Rotaract is to grow professionally and gain leadership skills. As when we were starting the meeting, we read objects of Rotaract, and even Rotaractor and Rotich posted that. So the major objective is growing professionally and gaining leadership skills. That is why on the guest speakers that we bring on board, we make sure they are aligned in terms of the topics and things that need to be addressed, at our age and all that. So we also have hangouts, we have, fun events, even if it's fundraising events, but we make sure we, have fun and interact together. So you realize we have many clubs in Nairobi, and even outside Nairobi, we have clubs in Thika, clubs in Eldoret, Nakuru, Mombasa. We have clubs everywhere. So we'll get in touch with each and everyone. If you clicked the guests, on the form, so we'll make sure we get in touch with you together with the membership director. Thank our amazing professional and leadership development team, led by Brian Sang and John Demo. Thank you for organizing, us this amazing session. It was very informative, very timely. I really picked a lot, and his final, the final comments where he mentioned on BML, that is build, measure, and learn. That was amazing. That was amazing. And to the Rotaractor from KU, who sent the artwork, Drew Lamek. Lamek, mfikishie shukran sana. And to everyone, our mother club, Rotary Club of Hurlingham, our sister club, Rotary Club of Technical University of Kenya, and to all Rotaract clubs that joined us. We were full house. At some point, you were 100. I really appreciate you all for joining us this evening. Yeah. So I hope I'll now do a final forward test. John Dem, I don't know if you're on call.
I'll do the 4-way test.
Yes.
Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And the 5th one that we added for our club, is it fun?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yeah, as she has mentioned, we picked a 5th for a test. We picked it during our hangout, and we added it, saying, is it fun? So yeah, we just picked it as a club, and we're trying to embrace it on the way. I'll go ahead and we'll do the final toast. So yeah, if I want to mention your club, kindly post it on the chat, and I'll read it as I proceed. So if you have a drink, you can raise it or place your hand across your chest. So to our guests, this is it is our final toast that we do after every fellowship to recognize the clubs that are present for the meeting and even the guests. Yeah. So if you have a drink, raise it and place your right hand across your chest. In conjunction with the Rotary Club of Hurlingham, Rotary Club of Nairobi Samawati, Rotaract Club of Technical University of Kenya, Rotaract Club of Nairobi Gigiri, Nairobi Thika Road, JKUAT, Nairobi Parklands, Nairobi Muthaiga North, Langata, KU, Nairobi East, MUA, Athi River, Ongata Rongai, the Rotary Club of Mkubu. I hope I haven't missed any club. The Rotary Club of Kitale. Thank you very much. Kennedy Kiprop. Yeah, I've mentioned JKUAT Journey. MMU in place, Rotary Club of Multimedia University. Yeah, MUA Muntas have mentioned that. Any club I might have missed? Okay, great. And the great Rotary Club of Hurlingham, I give you to Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
To Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Thank you very much. I can see Moses asking, do you happen to have a Facebook page? Yes, we do. Rotary Club of Hurlingham. You can find us there. You can also find Rotaract 254, that is Rotaract Kenya, and you can get all the updates on Kenya Region Rotaract Clubs. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Our next meeting will be on 1st November. Yes, 1st November, we'll be hosting Country Chair Lydia Kera, who is also the District Rotaract representative, DRRN, yeah, she's the DRR nominee. She'll also be accompanied by our ADRR, who is Simiu. ADRR stands for Assistant District Representative. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you on 1st of November. So we meet fortnightly, Monday from 7 p.m. to around 8:30 p.m. That is fortnightly, and we try to, mix a bit of professional development and the fun bit, that is club service, maybe game nights or quiz nights, hot seat, something fun. We try to mix it up like that. You can check us on our socials. That is the Rotary Club of Hurlingham on Facebook, RSC, which is short form of Rotaract, RSC_Hurlingham on Instagram and Twitter as well, RSC_Hurlingham. You can get our updates on our meetings, club activities, and you can slide in the DM and just, if you have a question about Rotaract, if we get to miss your submission of the form for tonight.